I have dementia.
Alzheimer's.
And I have 2 children and 1 granddaughter.
I've been diagnosed with PCA.
Think Tank. How innovations in dementia uses the experience and skills of people with dementia.
Need to know more?
Not all. That is. Does it for me? Thank you, Joe.
Think Tank has come together to make this film about what we do. We work with people with dementia, we listen to their views and we act on what they tell us.
Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, each group, just cards with questions on them. We're going to put them in the middle of the table on there. And some of the questions that you're going to find in these cards, you're going to find interesting, and some of them you'll think, oh, well, I can answer that really simply.
What would you struggle with? Alzheimer's.
All the people we work with have dementia in common. But that's all they have in common.
Dementia disease should have, but still doesn't, prioritised medical resource, research and medicine. None of that exists at the moment. Doctors certainly don't get the training that they need and the understanding that they need and should have. Nor do the families of the people who have to live with it.
They should have the carers, professional carers of Alzheimer's, going round to the home and explaining to the whole family, from the younger ones to the adults, what Alzheimer's means and the problems that Alzheimer's suffer from, because they do not, a lot of them, realise what it involves.
Families are not trained to deal with this. I wasn't, and I begged for help.
That hand doesn't do much. I can hold things with it, but I can't write with it anymore. And for an ex-journalist, that is hell on earth. Having been a journalist, I can tough things out, but I don't really want to have to spend my life toughing things out. I'd like to get some solutions to this, or some ways in which we can at least ameliorate some of these problems. We're losing this battle because we're not putting any money into it. And if you put a little bit of money into it, more people get helped, get the help to live their lives properly. Because at the moment, I'm not living my life the way I want to live my life. I don't think anybody here does who's got dementia.
Governments and everybody else ought to get together and sort something out, especially with youngsters. Youngsters think that if you've got dementia or you forget something, it's a joke, and they'll laugh at you. I don't think it's funny. They're not there. They think, oh, this will never happen to me. But you want to bet it could happen to you any time.
Thank you, guys.
We try to work with people to overcome their anxieties and problems to make sure that their voices are heard.
So there appears to be a lack of facilities for all those people that are involved. Basically, there's dementia in forget. There are 3 main Lewy bodies, Parkinson's, and I'm sorry about this.
Hey, don't worry, it's absolutely fine, Peter. It's really fine.
I'd rather you took my previous cut from Swindon.
And the other thing, taking it a stage further as well, is we've got in Swindon members of Parkinson's, Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Why are we all fighting one line? Why don't we all come together as one unifying unit?
We need to pull everybody together like a united front, so that we've got more weight to say, look, this is the catalyst for future.
Mm.
Well, it's a peculiar question. How do you weather a storm? And I'm presuming that the person who thought of the question thought of dementia as the storm.
I suppose the fear of boredom, the fear of making others bored, I suppose that's quite a big issue. And we live in an era of issues, which I hate the word so, because everything has to have an issue now. But given that this has an issue for good reason, I think I've probably said it now. Or have I?
People don't really care. And that's the point, really, that is about this with the Alzheimer's thing. If you speak to somebody and you start going ga 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 ga, they just go, oh my God, and that's that they don't want to know about it. And what I think it would be useful is to sort of undemonise the situation that we're facing with Alzheimer's.
The best thing that ever happened to me, apart from the children being born, was being diagnosed. A, you know you're not going silly. You know you've got something wrong with you. And B, you get a new family. You lose friends. You lose people who don't want to know because you've got a disease or you've got Alzheimer's or anything like that. But when you meet people who've got the other dementias, we're all in the same boat. We're all a new family. And I think that is the biggest thing with it. You meet people you've never known before. You're all on the same level. You can all laugh together about what you've got, which is the biggest thing.
If you think, oh no, it's going to be one of those days again, which so many of us do or did, I try to avoid that. Try to think a bit more objectively.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get everybody to understand the birds that we see when we go out there. And actually, people do start saying, "Oh, I remember that bird, and you saw that bird, and you know what it is now." And it was a little sort of team session.
If you were suffering from this, the thing is, if you can, stand up and do it. If you can't stand up, sit down and do it. And you can't, lay down and do it. Don't be embarrassed by it, because it's you have got to carry on trying to do what you originally used to do before you became ill.
People standing up and talking about their experience of dementia is important, but people with dementia have much more to offer.
Which was the reason I love my job, is that for me, people that are living through a diagnosis or been diagnosed and living with dementia have a wisdom that I see every day that I don't see in the rest of the population, and I learn from that every single day, and that I love listening to people and seeing how people reevaluate their lives and have a totally different take on what's important, which the rest of the world could really learn bucket loads from, and I do. We'll head back down and go to the pub, shall we? Because it's 12 o'clock.
Which way down do you take?
I think we'll just go down there and then head back round there.
Okay. Think Tank, the skills and experience of people with dementia. Innovations in Dementia works with Think Tank members in ways that suit them best, one-to-one, in groups, with people they know to support them. But meeting together doesn't always have to be so formal, and having fun is always important.
You think you'll have to do that?
You're cutting already, aren't you?
Life can be an adventure. All your life you have an adventure. Why can't, when you get diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, why can't we look at it that it's another part of an adventure in life, and you go on from there, rather than just hide away and just say, oh, I've got it, and forget it, I'm finished. I think it's an adventure in life. It's another adventure.
You just
That's typical me.
life is unpredictable.
No.
For more information about Think Tank, go to the Innovations in Dementia website www.myd.org.uk. We believe that a diagnosis of dementia is life-changing, not life-ending.